Today, we're going to be talking about a messy break versus a clean break. Now, I want you to think about the times that you're like, okay, I'm not going to do anything. But what ends up happening is you end up feeling bad about it the entire time. So, what this could look like is deciding, okay, I'm going to work on these things. But instead of actually working on them, we're avoiding them. And so we're not really doing any of those things, but we don't feel rested. We don't feel like we've gotten more energy. We actually feel drained. Whereas what a clean break could actually look like is deciding, like, okay, I'm not going to do these things. I'm going to decide that on purpose, and I'm going to take this time to take a break, to feel better, to create more energy, to rest. When we instead end up having a messy break because maybe it wasn't intentional or we're deciding not to do stuff, but we're still telling ourselves that we should be doing these things all of the time, what we do is one, create this kind of distrust with ourselves in our relationship with ourselves because it's like, oh, I should be doing something and I'm not doing it. So then we feel bad about ourselves. Instead, when we have a clean break, it's like, I've decided not to do these things. I'm not doing those things. And then we're very much doing the thing that we said we're going to do, which is not do these things. And this clean break really gives you so much more energy instead of a messy break that feels so draining. Now, you might actually hear this and you might be thinking, okay, yes, this makes perfect sense because I'm not doing the things I say I'm going to do and I feel terrible about it. And then I feel drained. And then, of course, I still don't want to do them because I feel drained and exhausted from like this messy break. But then when we look at the solution being, okay, I'm going to take this clean break, our brain immediately goes into all these reasons that we can't. So this could look like, no, I can't take this break because I have too much stuff to do and this needs to be done, that needs to be done, and I've been avoiding this and this needs to happen. I need to work on this and I need to do that and I need to work on all these things. And so then what we do is we're like, okay, well, we're going to do these things and then we avoid them, which then creates the messy break. But it's so interesting because it's looking at like, oh, we can't afford to not do these things. But then we're not doing those things anyway. So then what happens is instead of having that clean break, because at the end of it, these things were not done, we end up creating this messy break, which has these things not being done, but us also feeling terrible about ourselves, feeling exhausted, feeling drained, have avoided these things. Kind of it started just like telling ourselves over and over, we need to do them and we're not, but we should do them and we're not. And then all of that just feels so draining. So if this is something that you want to get out of, I think first, just start with like, okay, can I take a clean break? Now, immediately your brain again is probably like, no, we can't do that. But I want you to adjust that expectation. So your brain might be telling you you need to take like a week off. Well, let's just like narrow that down. Like, can you just take that day off? And even if your brain is like, no, we can't do that, bring it back down. Like, can we just take an hour where we're just like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to expect myself to do anything. I'm not going to tell myself to do anything. I'm just going to sit here and actually rest and relax and have my own back with it. And again, your brain is like, no, we cannot do it again, 15 minutes. Like, what can you do where your brain's like, okay, that seems reasonable. And in that 15 minutes, you're not telling yourself you should be doing something else. You're not telling yourself I need to do this and I need to do that. You're just telling yourself, like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing right now, sitting here, taking a break and resting. And if you actually want help implementing this, if you find yourself in these messy breaks, not getting a clean break, feeling like there's so much going on and you just can't seem to catch up or you seem behind or like it's not going to happen and like you're judging yourself, but then at the same time, you're avoiding all of these things, then make sure you go to successbykayla.com to sign up for your free consult call. Because on this call, we're going to be able to talk about all of this. You're going to be able to tell me like what is happening with the messy breaks. We're going to be talking about what would it look like to have a clean break, and then we're going to talk about what would need to happen to get you from there to that clean break so that you feel so much better. And then we're going to be talking about what it would look like to work with me in my 12-week coaching program. So go to successbykayla.com to sign up for your free consult call.